Get a roll call, please.
Member Espericueta,
Here.
Board Clerk Irvin,
Here.
Board President Cornett,
Here.
Members Girardi and Jarrell are absent, and we have Student Board Member Singh
Here.
and Student Board Member Aguilar Hernandez.
Here.
Number 2, public comment. Members of the audience may at this time address the board. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go down to the other one. Good evening, everybody. If anyone in the audience requires a headset for Spanish translation, please raise your hand and a device will be provided to you. Board Member Espericueta.
Buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenidos a la reunión regular de la Junta de Educación. Si alguno de ustedes necesita traducción al español, por favor levante su mano en cualquier momento y se les va a proveer unos dispositivos para traducción. Gracias.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Palm Springs Unified School District Regular Board of Education meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. We're so glad that you're here with us, whether you're joining us in person or watching us on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being part of tonight's meeting. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Student Board Member Sarah Singh.
Of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission statement will be read by Jeff Simmons in English and by Student Board Member Leslie Aguilar Hernandez in Spanish.
Thank you. All members of Palm Springs Unified School District are united in our commitment to equity. We create deep, meaningful learning opportunities, build professionalism, and engage parents and community to ensure success for all students. All students graduate with the skills, capacities, and confidence needed to succeed in a rapidly changing world.
Todos los miembros del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Palm Springs están unidos en nuestro compromiso con la equidad. Creamos oportunidades de aprendizaje profundas y significativas. Creamos profesionalismo y involucramos a los padres y a la comunidad para garantizar el éxito de todos los estudiantes. Todos los estudiantes se gradúan con las habilidades, capacidades y confianza necesaria para tener éxito en un mundo de cambio rápido.
Thank you. Excuse me. Our land acknowledgement will be read by Clayton Hill.
The Palm Springs Unified School District acknowledges the Cahuilla as the original stewards of the land on which the Palm Springs Unified School District facilities now sit. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work with the indigenous people in this place. We pay our respect to the Cahuilla people past, present, and emerging who have been here since time immemorial.
Thank you. Item 6, report of closed session actions. Clerk Irvin, are there any closed session actions to report?
No, President Cornett, there is no closed session items to report.
Thank you. Item 7, approval of the agenda. Prior to approving the agenda, I would like to pull item 17H and bring it back at a future board meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda with the noted amendment? Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 8, approval of meeting minutes for January 27th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I move the motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Abstain.
Aye. Special recognition. The governing board wishes to recognize the following employees of the month of February 2026. We have a few short videos produced by our digital media interns.
Janet Resendiz is one of our 5th grade dual immersion teachers, and she's just one of those teachers that may go under the radar because she tends to be quiet and kind, but oh my goodness, she has so much to offer to our students and to our families and to our teachers and aspiring teachers. She's just so humble with what she does. She is an Alder resident mentor for our aspiring teachers. This is her second year, and I could tell that she has a lot to offer them within her expertise in curriculum, instruction, and within dual immersion, because I could see how our aspiring teachers grow throughout the school year when they are mentored with her. Not only that, the students are always engaged within the classroom. Anytime I walk in there, they are doing something that is engaging, that connects to the real world, and they're having a lot of fun. Ms. Resendiz, thank you so much for all of your hard work. We truly recognize how much you do for our department within dual immersion, and we really thank you for inspiring others. All right, so Elva Loza, she is one of our supervision aides here at Vista Del Monte Elementary School. She has been with Vista Del Monte long before I've been here as the principal. So when I had asked her, how long have you been here? She said she believes 18 plus years. So very dedicated to our school community. When we had the opportunity to nominate staff, when I thought about a classified staff member, I thought, you know what? Elva has been so dedicated and compassionate in working with our students. She shows flexibility, collaboration, and just really genuinely enjoys working with our students. Not only that, when she's out on the playground supervising, kids right away are drawn to her and want her to play with them, whether it's volleyball or playing jump rope. And, you know, she tells me she was an athlete when she grew up, and I could tell. So you would never guess her age because she is out there running around and having a good time with those kids. Elva, thank you so much for all of your hard work and your continued dedication to our students and families here at Vista Del Monte. Your hard work is recognized, and we truly appreciate you.
At this time, will the governing board, executive cabinet, our student board members, and Ms. Santos please make their way to the front of the room. We'd like to call up our certificated employee of the month, Janet Resendiz. Janet, is there anyone in the audience who you'd like to acknowledge, thank, or recognize?
I just want to say thank you to Ms. Santos for this award. It's such an honor, and thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Janet. Our classified employee of the month, Alva Loza, was unable to join us this evening. Oh, she's here. Oh, I thought you said she wasn't here. I apologize. Please come to the front. Alva, is there anyone in the audience who you'd like to acknowledge, thank, or recognize?
Sorry, I feel so nervous, but thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Alva. The governing board would now like to recognize and commend the following students for academic excellence at Vista del Monte Elementary School. Isabela Juarez Oropesa. Ms. Santos, would you like to share a few words?
Yes, I'll just share a couple words about Isabella. So I had consulted with our other colleagues and staff members about choosing our student. And when we think about a student that's deserving, I will have to say Isabella has perfect attendance since day one. So. And not only that, she shows perseverance, she's overcome some challenges, and she continues to work hard and is just so kind-hearted. So congratulations, Isabella. And we can go ahead and invite her family up to come join us in the photo.
Thank you, Isabella. Now we'd like to invite up Omar Peñalosa Hernandez. Ms. Santos, would you like to share a few words about Omar?
Yes, Omar is one of the kindest students you'll meet. The first time I met him, he has that same smile anytime you see him, and he says good morning or buenos dias, and he genuinely cares how everyone is doing. He has great character to where he welcomes others to play with him, and he is a great student within his achievements and continues to work hard towards his academics. So congratulations, Omar. And let's go ahead and invite his family to come on up and join us with the photos.
Would Omar's family like to join us at the front? Thank you, Omar. At this time, the governing board would like to recognize and commend the following parents for being involved in Vista del Monte Elementary School site activities and events. Lena Davis.
So Ms. Davis is such an integral part of our parent community. She is one of our Parent Teacher Association community members. Also, she is part of our school site council, and we have our Early Act student leadership that is part of our Rotary. And so she is one of the parents that actively attends the Early Act meetings because our families are welcome. And we continue to see her and her daughter present at all of our family events, and she's always willing to help, and all of that hard work towards our school community has shown. So we want to appreciate and recognize her today. Thank you, Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Lena. Up next, we'd like to call up Precious Simmons.
All right, what can I say about Miss Precious? Miss Precious is actually a very active parent. Not only is she actually one of our staff members, we're blessed to have her as a staff member, but as a parent, she does currently have 3 students at our school, and, oh, wait, 3, okay, I counted right, 3. All right, so we've got 3 students of hers here, and she is just so hardworking. She is our PTA vice president, and we could not hold our family community events without her. She has been such a proactive planner and really enthusiastic about making sure that we bring our family community within our school site to make sure that they are connected and engaged, and we really appreciate her. Thank you, Ms. Precious. Families, come on up.
Thank you, Precious. And this concludes our special recognitions.
Number 10, public comments. Clerk Irvin, have we received any public comments?
We have not received any public electric comments.
In-person comments. All comments are to be directed at the board, to be under 3 minutes, and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain professional courteous decorum during public comments. Board members do not respond to public comments. Do we have anyone in the public who wish to address the Board of Education? Seeing none, we'll go on to number 11. Our student board members' reports will be presented by Leslie Aguilar Hernandez and Sarah Singh. First up, we have Leslie Hernandez from Cathedral City High School.
Hello everybody. So today, February 10th, I will be going over the month of February at Cathedral City High School. But before I get into this month's school's happenings, I wanted to touch upon an important topic, an event that has recently made headlines. Yesterday, February 9th, high school students across Palm Springs Unified School District, including myself, marched out of school to protest the presence of immigration enforcement in our valley. In front of you are pictures of science students from Cathedral City High School and Rancho Mirage High School created to express their frustration and depict the ongoing situation in the United States. To exercise their First Amendment rights, including freedom of speech and the right to peaceably assemble. Not only did they deliver powerful messages with their signs and voices, they were also able to do so peacefully. Throughout the duration of the protests, students were never violent and maintained a positive environment throughout the event. This is important to note, This is important to note as the majority of our students within our school district are Hispanic and Latino, and proud daughters and sons of immigrants. The media has portrayed our students as savages and criminals, when this is in fact not true, and is a stereotype deeply embedded from systemic racism. We are not criminals, we are dreamers. I am bringing this to your attention today because as student board member, it is my duty to be a voice and speak up for those who can't. I wanted to say thank you to the security guards, Mr. DeLiberto, Mrs. Barch, and the district for letting us exercise our First Amendment rights and keeping us safe during the protests. Protests like these would not have been possible if previous generations did not fight for their rights. And as MLK Jr. once said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it, is really cooperating with it." And now, moving into my current event. So, in my agenda, first up I have the academies, including the HEAL Academy, the Data Academy, AVID, IB Diploma, extracurriculars, sports, and upcoming events. So, my first slide, I have the HEAL Academy. So, on January 28th, our HEAL seniors took a trip to La Sierra University Palm Desert campus. They were able to discover the different opportunities offered here, and healthcare opportunities, as well as criminal justice guest speakers, and participated in real-life simulations. HEAL seniors also took a trip to Eisenhower Hospital, January 16th, in which they learned about different health professions and had a guest speaker describing the different pathways to healthcare occupations. Students also participated in the roadshow, in which they presented the academy to different middle school students, trying to convince them to join. Students demonstrated first aid skills, including CPR, phlebotomy, and splinting. Our sophomores are currently on their college trip, in which they visited schools including Cal Poly Pomona, Cal State Fullerton, UCI, and many more. All HEAL grades are also participating in the NMDP Penny Wars competition. NMDP, also known as the National Marrow Donor Program, is a global leader helping people find bone marrow donors and stem cell transplant. The Penny Wars fundraiser helps NMDP fund research for alternative ways to treat bone marrow cancer. And next up, I have the Data Academy. So, Data Juniors went to the Elemental Museum on January 23rd as part of their internship. It allowed them to be creative and discover the real beauty of nature. Tomorrow, the Data sophomores will visit the Broad Museum in Los Angeles, and Data Juniors will visit the Salton Sea alongside DHS students to learn about other artists to advance their academic journey. Future trips include California State University Fullerton. Data will also host interviews for 8th graders interested in joining Data in the Data Create Day. And next up, I have the AVID Academy. So, our CCHS AVID Academy had quite a busy month. Freshman class of 2029 has had field trips to UCR and La Sierra. Sophomore class of 2028 visited San Diego State, while junior class of 2027 and senior class of 2026 took a trip to UCLA. These field trips help promote academic excellence and help students pave their own path to success. These trips open up opportunities for students to allow them to witness different academic careers they might be interested in. AVID has also been working on their version of the CAS project, including adult math tutoring services, mini college fairs, and food donations. AVID has also had lots of academic success, as 44% of all AVID scholars had a GPA of 4.0 and above, and 75% with a 3.0 and above. AVID also participated in the roadshow, helping draw in new students for the upcoming school year. And next, I have IB Diploma. On January 31st, IB Diploma juniors and seniors had their CAS Sunnylands project, in which the theme was Cultures Around the World, Asia Day. Groups had various stations, including henna and face painting. IB Diploma students are also preparing for their internal assessments, also known as IAs, in which students are tested on their abilities to research, analyze, and apply knowledge to real-world scenarios. Best of luck to all of our IB diploma students. And now moving on to our extracurriculars. So last week, CCHS had their annual Winter Ball. ASB set the tone by having their annual Winter Ball Spirit Week. Spirit Week consisted of Mysterious Monday, wearing dark colors, No Name Day, swapping styles with somebody, Glitz and Glam, in which different grades used different materials and fabrics, such as lace and velvet. Thursday, Dress Like Royalty, dress your best. And Friday, Support the Court, in which students wore court merch. And our Winter Ball Rally. It included performances from our CCHS dance, cheer, and folklorico. February 7th was Winter Ball Day, with the theme being Midnight Masquerades, and students had a blast as they were provided with food, drinks, music, and a photo booth. This week, sophomores presented a new Kindness Spirit Week in the spirit of Valentine's. ASB is also selling goodie baskets with different price ranges, including various gifts and candy. And then last but not least, our winter sports. Congratulations to our boys and girls wrestling seniors for winning most of their senior night matches and going to CIF. On February, boys soccer had their senior night. Unfortunately, they did not have the result they hoped for, losing 3-0. Our Lady Lions soccer team had an epic senior night, beating Bannon 2-1. Congrats to all of our senior athletes. And upcoming events. I have, Abbott has their quarterly awards and spring sports. And before I end my presentation, are there any questions? And that is it. Thank you.
Next up, we have Sarah Singh from Desert Hot Springs High School.
Good evening, everybody. This is my Desert Hot Springs High School District Board Report for the months of January and February. Starting off with my agenda, I'll be going over general updates, sports updates, academic achievements, and upcoming events. Starting with our general updates, we recently had our most anticipated Blackout Rally to hype up our winter formal dance. During the Blackout Rally, which is the most anticipated because the lights go off and the crowd glows, we had many performances including our dance team, our Baile Folklorico, Black Student Union, Color Guard, Cheer, and our USB Boys. Students also participated in class competition games, and the following Saturday was our winter formal themed A Starry Night. In the photos there is our amazing principal, Mr. Tinoco, with our Golden Eagles dressed to impress. We also have our King and Queen Royal Court winners. Moving on to saving lives. Our USB class hosted a blood drive at the school where students were able to donate blood to help save lives. We partnered with the Red Cross Foundation for the blood drive. And our sports updates, which I am so honored to present to you. Starting with our boys basketball, they are back-to-back league champions, winning their last game against Desert Mirage, which was also their senior night. The stands were packed, showing support for our Eagles. In addition, our girls basketball team are undefeated league champions. They also celebrated their senior night against Desert Mirage. Both girls and boys basketball recently held their net cutting ceremony, which their playoff games also take place this Thursday. Our girls soccer team is also undefeated league champions. They celebrated their senior night against Cathedral City High School, and they played with all their heart. And our boys soccer team had their senior night as well, receiving lots of love from our school and their families. Our wrestling team also celebrated their senior night, with our team taking the win against Banning High School. We had a handful of athletes advance to CIF and are wrestling this weekend, so best of luck to them. Moving to our academic achievements, celebrating 2 of our amazing Golden Eagle staff, Mrs. Zhang was awarded Teacher of the Year. We thank her for all of her amazing accomplishments and positive impacts as a teacher. We also recognize Mr. Cuccinello, who was awarded Educator of the Year. He's a wonderful mentor and a role model to our students. Some of our students have been recognized for their greatness. On the left is a Desert Hot Springs High School student, Chase, who has received the Every Student Succeeding Award. I would also like to thank everybody who came and participated, including our dance team, MCJ, ROTC, and our jazz band. In the photo on the right, the following Desert Hot Springs High School student, Emily Diejamahor, was recognized at the Greater Coachella Valley Student of the Month breakfast. We are extremely proud of our amazing scholars. The district science fair was held in our school's gym, and our amazing Desert Hot Springs High School students presented their projects and helped out our younger students from neighboring schools. Making a Change, our Friday Night Live group brought awareness to Casey's Pledge. Students signed their names on stars that contained Casey's Pledge that was displayed at the front of the school to bring awareness to the dangers of drunk driving. Our students work hard to educate others to do the right thing. On the right is our Golden Eagle Sports Academy, which consists of outstanding students who meet to discuss how they can improve themselves and set greater goals. In honor of Black History Month, we have incredible students who share impactful stories and facts of African Americans to honor their accomplishments. In addition, our USB leadership is highlighting African American staff members each day, sharing their story and passion for helping others. And lastly, my upcoming events. To celebrate Black History Month, our annual Taste of Soul event is coming up on February 27th, held in our school's theater. There will be tons of performances, storytelling, soul food vendors, and much more, and I invite the board to please come and support and show your love. And lastly, we also have our famous Eagles Got Talent show coming up on March 13th at 6:30 p.m. This is one of our biggest events that the public looks forward to, with amazing students and staff showing off their talents. And I invite all of you guys, and specifically Dr. Funches, if you'd be interested in being a judge for the talent show. And that's all for my district board report. Thank you.
Yes, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Deanna Killian, our Director of Secondary Curriculum and Instruction. She will be providing an academic update for the board this evening, and the focus is Systems for Student Success, Monitoring A through G, and Graduation Outcomes.
That was $20 well spent, by the way. All right, good evening, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Cabinet and the board for the opportunity to share some amazing things and cool structures we have in our district to monitor A through G. I'm sad the students aren't here to listen to some of that. So first I want to start here. This is a slide that is shown frequently as its ground and it's foundational to the work and our focus in Palm Springs Unified. You could see here that we are all about these elements that produce excellent outcomes here in Palm Springs Unified. Tonight we'll talk a little bit about increasing our graduation rate, increasing our college and career indicators, and truly identifying portrait of a graduate realized. What does that mean? What does that look like? It's ensuring that we're providing our students opportunities to sharpen their skill sets so that they're college and career ready. This isn't an or thing, but rather an and thing. And what do those skills look like? The skills that we're talking about are ensuring that our students have the opportunity to collaborate with one another, that they have effective communication styles, both written and oral communication, that they engage in problem solving and sharpen those skill sets. We won't often have all the answers, and so they have to be able to grapple with and find solutions. And then lastly, we want to be sure that they have opportunities to persevere, grit, and have work ethic. As it relates to dashboard and how we're evaluated on the dashboard, these are the ways in which we demonstrate college and career. We can demonstrate that through exams, so students can take advanced placement, IB, or score well on our summative assessment. They could take it through coursework and receiving a grade of C or better on the coursework, or they can persevere in some programs and ensure that they follow a sequence of course to completer status. Tonight, I'm going to talk about our A through G in our district and some of the structures and systems we have in place. General reminder, A through G are those minimum courses that are required for admissions into CSU or UCs. It's nomenclature here in California, but those are the minimum requirements for admissions in any university. This is an opportunity for us to ensure that students are engaged in a broad stroke of courses that are as comprehensive and well-versed. We know it takes a team. No one person can do this, and so this team that we have to ensure student success are instrumental in our A through G numbers and our programs. And I'm going to share a little bit about what we do to support the various team members. First, with administration, working collaboratively with our technology department and division, we have created an analytics homepage that shows a variety of data sets. This is just a snapshot of what is available. This is a snapshot of what's available to our high school principals. And so you can see here that it demonstrates the attendance for the district as well as the attendance for the particular school site. But I'll draw your attention to the A through G percentage daily. This shows the A through G at that moment, at that time. So it's live data, so there's constant monitoring in the moment. This isn't stagnant data. So worthy to mention for A through G, in order to be on track for A through G, you need to have a C or better. So if a student has slipped and they have a D or an F in a class, it'll take them out of those bars, take them out of A through G at that moment. Again, this is a moment in time showing live data. Which takes me down to the bottom. So the bottom graph illustrates the D's and F rates in various subject areas. We wanted to show this so that we could be expeditious and reply and support students right away. What we don't want to do is wait until the end of the semester or end of the school year to respond to low grades. So this DF rate shows live data as of that moment when you log on and look at the dashboard so that we could be responsive quickly. In terms of counselors, I meet with counselors every month, and I meet with lead counselors quarterly. And some of the things that I'm proud of is this A through G tracker. This is a picture that shows a list. This would show a list of students on the caseload for counselors. And you can see here that we're monitoring on track for graduation as well as on track for A through G. The coursework that's over to the right are all requirements for those A through G areas that I showed earlier. This is an example of a live student tracker, and so certainly names omitted, but you can see here that the students, the very first few that are shown there are on track for diploma, and there's some elements where they are not on track for A through G. But it gives us a more precise look at every student, and then you can see there are notes on this side. Some counselors have even added some other elements, as you can see here, where there is their FAFSA, did they fill out their senior scholarship information, again, on track for grad, on track for A through G, perhaps what are their post-secondary plans once they leave our system. And so on this student tracker, each tab is by grade span. So you'll see your freshman students on your caseload, sophomores, juniors, and then seniors. This one that you're looking at here is a senior tab.
Deanna, I have a quick question for you.
Absolutely.
So with this data that we have that's in time, how are we doing to get any of this information to the parents to let them know when their student might possibly be falling off track and also in danger? I think since we have such wonderful data that we can use, are we reaching out to those parents?
Great question. I have a slide. It's like we rehearsed this. I do have a slide that talks about how we notify parents in a timely manner so they can keep track of their students. It's in about 2 slides. One last slide that I want to share with the group is we want to have a a location where we have resources available to our counselors. And so this is just a snapshot of the drive, a Google Drive that we have for our counselors, because we believe sharing best practices, sharing resources, and holding our collective selves accountable to each other is important. So this is just a snapshot in working with Riverside County Office of Ed of some of the resources. Mr. Irving, it's right in parents. Okay, I want to keep you tethered with me. Okay. Relative to teachers, we believe they are an instrumental element to this partnership as well. And so working with Riverside County Office of Ed, we have a very coherent professional development where every middle school as a cohort has met, and each high school individually with their leadership team have gone through elements of these modules. And so right now as a district, we're about module 1 and 2 and 3. So we're starting to seep into module 4 and 5, and let me explain a little bit about what that entails. So with module 1, transcript analysis is really intending to establish baseline. We want to see what the grade distribution is across our school site. It helps to identify maybe some gaps in our master schedule, some gaps in some access courses, and what are some things where we need to focus our attention in certain areas. So it could be identify there's some gaps with gender, gaps with classes, or different courses. And so this is really to establish baseline. Then we move into student and staff surveys. It's important to get perception data. Do students understand what grades truly illustrate? What are teachers' perspective and what's their perception on grades and why they build their grade book the way they do? This is all very informative as we look at a cohesive, instructional, coherent program. Then we look at the essential standards, and I'm happy to say that through consistent work over the last 2 to 3 years, all 4 core content areas at the secondary level do have a scope and sequence that help identify those essential standards. So we are all pointing towards the same standards, talking about the same standards. We do have instructional agreements both at the elementary level and at the secondary level, which illustrate and identify what are those main expectations in our classroom, including integrated designated instruction, the adopted core curriculum, which is our viable curriculum, and then again, our instructional sequence. And soon we'll be moving into syllabi. That's an important component to communicate with families. As Mr. Irvin had mentioned, how do we keep our families involved and understanding what they're going to be engaged in the class? And so taking a look at our syllabi and ensuring that it represents what we believe as not only as an individual educator, as a department, as a school. And then lastly, taking a look at our gradebook. How is our gradebook set up? Is it reasonable? Or is it truly measuring mastery, student learning and mastery? This is not about telling teachers how to grade, but this is rather just a reflective mechanism, a very structured reflection on whether our grades truly demonstrate and show us what our students know. Parents. And so what we do with parents is, this is an example of a letter that was just recently sent out on January 12th. And so working with Dr. Kovac, we send out a letter to families talking about academic fitness and A through G awareness. We want students to strive for that so that they are truly ready for post-secondary. And so this is an example of an English and a Spanish version. This is sent out via Parent View. This is also a letter similar to this is sent at the conclusion of the semester once grades are posted, because we want our families and our students to see this. And so, Mr. Irvin, this is the illustration that we want to share with our families at the conclusion of the semester once grades have posted. And you can see here, this is a live example of a senior. You can see that all of the green check marks indicate that they've met that particular A through G area. And you can see at the visual performing arts, they're shy of 1 semester. So right now, this particular student is off track by 1 semester of visual performing arts. And the hope is that our families see that and our students see that as well. And this report is pulled off of California Colleges EDU, which is a partnership that all of Riverside County, the County Office of Ed has purchased licenses for all schools in our county to partner with.
Is this mailed to families?
It is It is referenced in the letter, and it's in parent view. So students or families can see it in parent view. It's uploaded as a document in parent view.
Do you have any data or information of how many parents actually look at this?
That's a great question. I do not. I know that I can tell you once we send it in parent view, the number of messages that have gone out. I have not seen how many have looked at it in parent view. I don't know how many have accessed it in parent view.
Is there any other way that parents can get this information besides through parent view?
They can log on to californiacolleges.edu. All parents have access to that particular mechanism where they can see this as well. And students access this. We call it CCGI, California College Guidance Initiative, but it's referring you to the California Colleges EDU website.
So are students given a copy of this also?
Students can access it on the student view, and they can access it on the California Colleges website, but they don't have a hard copy.
When something like this appears, then from this point on, does then a counselor sit down with a student and say, this is what you need?
Yes. Counselors can use this report to help guide and provide guidance for students, absolutely. Sometimes they'll pull up transcripts as well, but yes.
And Dr. Killian, why don't you share what you do each time you have this information and you send it out to principals and counselors with the students who are off track?
Yes, so an added bonus is I do send a report using a FAR tool or using a resource that's in our district to show students that are off track. For example, this particular student would have been listed with 1 semester off track. And so at the conclusion of the semester, I do send lists out to school sites, to counselors, as well as principals, showing students that are just slightly off and how we can rectify that situation.
How do we get that to the parents? And the reason being is we know that our students they have to be responsible and they have to be adults.
Yeah.
Just in case we don't have those type of students, how are the parents getting any of that information? Because a lot of times students will not tell a parent that they're not meeting certain requirements. And so how do we get to where we get parents involved in that?
Yep. So if students are in danger of failing, counselors do notify families because we want to, again, address those situations, especially if we're talking about graduation requirements. Relative to A through G, oftentimes when students want to opt out of those courses, counselors are working alongside the site administration to notify families. In terms of letting them know when they're off track, counselors do notify families, typically at the conclusion of the semester.
So, and back to that letter.
Yep.
Is that letter received by everyone, or is that letter just received for seniors, or how does that work?
Great question. No, it's every student. And this report, while I am showing you an example of a senior report, this report is reflective of where that student is in terms of grade. So for a freshman, it'll look less, and it'll tell you if you're on track or off track based on what grade level you are and at the time of year. All that to say that yes, all families that have grades posted at the semester get that letter.
Now, for the 6th and 7th and 8th graders who are coming into that, are you guys preparing them for this as well?
The resource that I'm referencing, the California College Guidance Initiative, is open to middle school as well. They will not see A through G coursework, but we are doing a lot to prepare them with that nomenclature. We want them to start thinking about coursework in those A through G buckets. So it's not the first time they're hearing it when they get to the high school. So there's been a lot of work. For example, if you go to some of our middle schools, they'll have posters that say this is a social science class. So we're trying to, again, get our middle schools acclimated to this A through G verbiage.
I would love to challenge it to extend to the parents, because once again, students will take whatever way that they possibly can take out of a situation. And me, considering a parent of 2 kids in a district, my son is going to do exactly what I want him to do as long as he's in my home. So what I'm saying is, as a parent, a lot of times when we don't get any of this information, we kind of rely on our child to pass this information to us, and they would not sometimes translate that information. So I guess I'm asking, how can we extend it a little bit more for the parents?
Absolutely. We can absolutely look into tighten up our structures and systems because as illustrated earlier, we do have tracking mechanisms and so there's opportunity for growth to notify our families more frequently. But as mentioned, this is at the semester, but certainly we can perhaps at the quarter begin to notify families sooner and quicker.
And I think what I'm
Yes.
hearing you say, Mr. Urban, is that we need to ensure that families are receiving it. Bottom line, make sure we have a system for that.
Absolutely.
When we kind of speak about a wraparound service all the time, I think sometimes we wrap almost around, but I think we miss those parents in making a complete wraparound. So I would like to see a little bit more of a challenge to get the parents up to speed as well, because we do kind of lead the households and we get our students going exactly with you guys in support. And so I think with the wraparound service, a lot of times parents tend to get dropped off of that list, but I think they're really critical and important to the wraparound service of our students.
I like it. Challenge accepted. Absolutely. Some of the things we have access to A through G grant dollars. And so just this year, I wanted to share some of the things we've been doing to, again, monitor and respond to the grade recovery element of it. And so winter intersession, we just hosted winter intersession. We had about 450 students across our traditional high schools and MSJ. And so students had the ability to recover Ds and Fs during winter intersession. We anticipate hosting spring intersession as well, again, trying to be responsive quickly. And then we've hosted family nights, working closely with Dr. Dimmick and the College and Career Office, offering FAFSA nights and college admission nights. We just did CSU Direct, and so that's another element to show the why behind A through G and why it's important.
Yeah, I had a question about the
Yes.
number 3. The FAFSA and college admission, that one is only one opportunity for parents, or you do in different size, like the Desert Spring or different high school, or just one for the entire school district?
So we have in the past done one on the DHS side, and so Desert Hot Springs High School, shout out Mr. Tanoko, who's not here, and his team. Desert Hot Springs High School hosts for any families, not just Desert Hot Springs High School, but we wanted to make it easy and accessible. So families that live on this side of the freeway had access to counselors and supports, and then we hosted one here at the district office for this side of the family. But not every high school hosted one, but we hosted on 2 different sides so that to ensure easeability and accessibility for families.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know what individual high schools are doing for the FAFSA and college admission and how they're getting parents involved in that?
So what we did was it was an open house. Essentially, it was an open house to provide supports for families. If they needed supports on college admissions and filling out applications, filling out their FAFSA or their CATA DREAM Act application as well. I put FAFSA, but CATA DREAM Act as well. So it was really more of an open house and then showing the 2 locations.
I guess another question I have is if there's a child, a student, a scholar in trouble of not graduating, or especially our juniors and seniors, do counselors actually reach out and talk to a parent in person, by phone or in person, or, give them that information, not just sending it through Parent View? Because a lot of people may or may not open that up.
Unequivocally, yes. Counselors are in communication, whether it's through email, whether it's through phone call, and that gets captured in our synergy under our student conference. That's something that we've been working on to make sure that we're documenting and that we're making multiple attempts to connect with families if we in fact have a student who is falling short of graduation, specifically graduation requirements, because we want to make sure, again, we address it immediately. So anytime there's any communique about grad status, all of that gets captured in synergy.
I guess another question is, as students come into ninth grade, do high schools really sit down with them and go over what A to G actually means and what they need and what they need to do in order to not only graduate so that they can go to a state college or a university if they so choose to?
Yes. So usually at the beginning of the school year, the counselors they push into classrooms to talk about topics specific to different grade levels. And so for freshmen, it's the welcome to campus. Here are the basics. And so yes, that first introduction to A through G. Although I will say in 8th grade we're doing that as well. When the counselors meet with our 8th grade students, we want them prepared, and that transition and matriculation to high school is smooth. And so that conversation with A through G happens in the middle school. But at 9th grade and then 10th grade, there's more topics relative to sophomore year and juniors and seniors. So every grade span does get counselors that are pushing in and administrators.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Quick question for you.
Okay.
How often are you guys visiting the 8th grade with the counselors?
So I don't personally visit the 8th grade classes with counselors, but what we do is I work closely with Marisol Guerrero and Lisa Todd in Student Services, and they facilitate the middle school counselors. And so we are trying to align our efforts. And so things that are happening at the middle level, I bring up and work with the high school counselors and vice versa. Things that I'm doing with the high school counselors, they bring into their PD and support with the middle school counselors. And so at the middle school, I can speak to that the middle school counselors all have a scope and sequence, lessons that they're providing to the 8th grade, 7th, and 6th grade students, preparing them for high school, including A through G conversations.
Do you know how many times that is that they meet?
I would have to look at their scope and sequence, but happy to provide additional information in a Friday letter if that would be.
Please, that would be nice.
Perfect, we'll do so. And then so with student success, this is what I will share. Some of this information was shared with the board and cabinet. If you recall, in August, Mr. Arnold and myself did some presentation on our information on grad rate. We talked a little bit about cohort and what comprises a cohort. That's a group of students that starts with us at freshman year and remains with us, and those that transfer in. The only time that we take students out of our cohort is if there is an actual exit code that's recognized by the state. So just a little reminder on cohort. This is the information we have. Note, we recognize there's areas of growth and there's subgroups that we need to pay close attention to. So while our overall A through G rate has gone up, as well as our grad rate, we recognize there's still work to be had. And so with that, at January 16th, again, a moment in time, this is our A through G rate by high school and by the district. And so of the 54.49%, January 16th, again, this is students that have a C or higher in those A through G areas, it breaks down as such. So you can see here that we're trending correct, we're trending right with our demographics in terms of A through G readiness. And again, this is as of January 16th, and all of these students represented have a C or higher in those A through G areas. That's an important distinction. This is seniors, I'm sorry. Seniors, yes, class of 2026. Yes, absolutely. And so we believe that through these systems and structures, certainly areas of growth and challenge accepted, that we believe with continued notification and bringing our families, our students, our staff, and our administrators, that we're trending right with all of our subgroups and demographics as well as the different school sites.
So,
yes.
Go back to that slide.
Okay.
So looking at Desert Hot Springs High School, I'm going to imagine we have a plan in place for them to improve.
Yes.
Okay. What's the plan?
So every school will have different elements that we'll need to take a look at. Cohesive counseling department, is there a system to monitor? How are we notifying families? Are we putting students in the correct classes? So there's a lot of elements that we would need to examine So with Desert Hot Springs High School, it would be to ensure that we're putting our students in the appropriate classes and that we're intervening if students are off track soon.
With that this breakdown that you have here, do you have ethnic groups for the breakdown of these also?
For each of the high schools, no.
Okay.
But certainly,
is
again,
it something that could be available?
it could be available. It could be available. Again, this was a snapshot of January 16th. So breaking it down by demographics, it's available.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Do our student board members have any questions?
Do you think you could go back to the previous slide for me?
Sure.
I was just asking, wait, so this like data right here, is this district data or
This is,
not the graph, but this one with the percentages?
yes, this is
Okay.
all the whole district senior class.
Okay, and the 2 or more races
Yes.
would. Oh wait, no, sorry, never mind. All right, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, of course.
Not really a question, but kind of a statement. Personally, at Desert Hot Springs High School, I do see a lot of efforts being made to improve students, like specifically the Fast Fun Nights. And especially this week, our counselors have been super, super busy getting the kids back on track. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot of efforts to do so. I just want to put that out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you. Lots of information, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanna.
Next, item 13, board member comments. Do we have any comments from the board? You want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, let me very quick. Thank you, President Cornell. First, I want to congratulate the student board member for the great presentation. A lot of good information for the public, for board members. And also the presentation for Dr. Diana Killian. Thank you for the whole information. In January 28, I attended the Desert Spring assistant principal from athletic or sport invited me to the basketball game, Desert Spring versus Benin, and was very competitive again, and Desert Spring won 68 to 56. And something that impressed me in the school is the community support. It was full, and a lot of security. They have a lot of support also from Desert Spring city, and the principal Tinoco, a lot of assistant to be sure that all are safe, the visitors and also the local community members and players. Oh, is that AI? And also in the January 31st, I attended. I decided to attend the life and celebration and life for Mr. Ruth Wake, Mr. Wake. I had a special thanks to her, and I expressed that one to their son and daughter, because thanks to her, she was a counselor for my 2 children, and for my family, and for my daughter husband, and all was in the Hill Academy, and all was very successful. I think, and I was also impressed to see how many people approached here. His job that he did, it was like, I don't know, 150 people there, a lot of administrators, and supporting the family, and I want to spread my thanks to everything that she did for my family. Thank you. And also, I attended, we have the very productive special board meeting in February 2nd. And the February 4, I attended with Marcus presenting to the board of realtors. Also was a good presentation updating what the school district is doing and what is the future plans. And also, in the same day, I attended the Desert Health Care District Community Forum that they was asking the community what is they was doing the plan for long-term plan, and the public, and I one of those that ask the Desert Health Care District to figure out what can they do, what more can we do all together for the Desert Hot Spring community, because they need more, maybe they need a hospital or they need more support in emergency clinics. And in the February 6th, we had the Women Wonder Luncheon, and congratulations to the all honored was my special recognition to Terry Kidover and Sandy Newsom for the whole support that they do for our students. And in February 7th, I attended the Palm Springs Black History Gala. It was a wonderful event. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, and so for me, on February the 2nd, I also had the work day here at the district with other board meetings, the board members and our superintendent. And February the 4th, I also, with Mr. Espericueta, attended the Greater Palm Springs Realtors meeting with our superintendent. February the 5th, I attended the Palm Springs Art Museum for Black History Month. The artist was poet Moye, and he was a violin specialist, and it was really great. If you have an opportunity, go down and visit the Palm Springs Museum. During the month of February on Thursdays, there will be African American events that will be taking place throughout the month. And it's free for the public for you to go down and see some of those activities. On February the 7th, also, I attended the Black History Gala with the other board members and our superintendent. It was great because some of our students got acknowledged, and so I want to say congratulations to those students who got honored with awards. One of them was Josiah Mitchell, and the other was Isaiah Flore. And there was another young lady from Desert Hot Springs. I can't think of her name right now, but she also received an award. So it's always great for those students to be acknowledged and receive awards. And their comments were interesting and kind of deliberate and straight to the point. So, it's good to hear from our kids. So, as I mentioned a little earlier with the events that happen at the Palm Springs Art Museum, next week, next Thursday will be Virgil Abloh, and I believe he is the first African American to be recognized by Louis Vuitton as the ambassador for Louis Vuitton. And so he will be spotlighted at the museum. So he'll get an opportunity to find out about him and his history and background and what he contributed, and it's free. And I believe it starts at 6 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. Next, on February 16th, the Palm Springs Black History Committee will have a Black History tour, which will be a bus ride that will visit sites, different locations, and contributions from African Americans in our city, Palm Springs. If you need any questions for any of the information that I'm going to be giving you, I will give the phone number. The Black History Committee phone number is 760-323-8271. On February 14th, there will be an adults annual basketball tournament. So if any of you adults are out there who feel like you still have it to be able to play basketball, we would love to have you to check into the tournament and see if you can win that trophy. And so on February the 21st, there will be an event called The Roots in Motion, and that will be a hiking event that will take place at the Tockwitz Canyons. So that will start at 8:30 a.m. So you have an opportunity to be able to hike and get out and enjoy and see all the wonderful things we have. And make sure that we continue to honor and recognize our Black History Month activities that are going on. I've gotten tons of emails and text messages from principals about events that are going on, and I appreciate you guys and thank you so much for all of the events that you guys are putting on in the district. I'll try to make sure to get out to as much as I can. I also want to say thank you guys for your report for the student board members. You guys are always great at giving your opinion and saying how you feel, and we really appreciate you guys. And I want to thank you to the parents also who came out, who got awards, and all of the different staff from Vista Del Monte, and congratulations to you guys. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. Again, too, I want to say to Leslie and Sarah, thank you for those wonderful reports tonight. We're always glad to hear what's going on at your schools and in your community. And thank you, Leslie, for updating us on the student protests and how well they were well received. Also, congratulations to all the honorees tonight from Vista Del Monte. It's always great to honor not only our parents and students, but also staff members. Thank you to Deanna Kulian for your wonderful report tonight. It's always good to hear that we're really trying to get as many students as possible to complete their A to G requirements so that they have a choice to go to a university or a state college. I was able to attend MTU's presentation of the Play 6. It was great. It was actually as good as any performance that you would actually see probably from professionals. And so it's really wonderful to see how talented our students are throughout our district. The board participated, I thought, in a very productive work day. All of us with Dr. Funchest, and we really got to go over his goals and the board's goals for this year and for the future. So thank you for that. Also, I got to attend the Women of Wonder Luncheon where our Terry Ketover was honored for her many contributions to our community, and especially for the Do the Right Thing program. I also got to attend the Palm Springs Black History Dinner where students and community members were recognized for all that they do for our communities and outreach. And it was wonderful to see the students and have them honored also. So it was a great night. So thank you. So we'll go on to our superintendent's report. We'll come back to student board members if you want to go.
Right.
I'll come back to them.
Thank
Sorry.
you, Board President Cornett. I want to say to our two board members, Leslie and Sarah, job well done once again. Your focus on student academic achievement and all the extracurriculars and highlighting what's good about your student body. Excellent. One day we're going to read about you in the paper. If we have papers later on in the future, we're going to read about you doing some incredible things for mankind and humanity. I believe that. You are full of greatness and keep up the good work, okay? Also want to thank Dr. Killian for her A through G report transparency about the systems that we have in place and some areas that we need to continue to work on. Good job, and thank you for working specifically with our principals and our counselors. Thank you very much. And so as I continue to spotlight the excellent things that we're doing and continue to build momentum for PSUSD excellence, I wanted to highlight a few things. Next slide, please. We had a chance to visit and take part in the Black History Committee's 16th annual gala on February 7th. Karen Cornett, Sergio Espedicueta, and Charlie Irvin. What a good night. What a great night that was to highlight our staff and our scholars. Mr. Kefion Shepard was provided the Kingdom Impact Award. That is not easy. It's because you're doing work out there in the community. Excellent educator Joy Cox from Rancho Mirage Elementary School was given the Educator Award for her tireless efforts to boost student achievement. And our scholars, Christopher Francois from PSHS, Palm Springs High School, Isaiah Flinner from DHSHS, Josiah Mitchell from Palm Springs High School, and Leanna Jackson, also from DHSHS. Job well done. Job well done, sorry, scholars. Jody Diaz and Janelle Hunt, excellent work hosting that event as well. So excellence all the way around. Riverside County Office of Education, next slide, please. What stood out at that awards event was our commitment and dedication to diversity, equity, inclusion. I was very proud of Palm Springs Unified because you looked at our scholars that were awarded that day. There was representation across the board for our district, and that is important for scholars to see themselves doing well academically and be recognized for that. So hats off to Carlos Lopez, CCHS, Emily D.A. Jimahor, I think I got that right, DHSHS, Damon Lockhart from Mount San Jacinto High School, Zemi Garcia from DLA, Malachi Davis from Rancho Mirage High School, and Italy Acosta from Palm Springs High School. Job well done. Keep being excellent. Next slide, please. Congratulations to our scholar athletes who made CIF. All of our young people from Rancho Mirage High School, boys soccer, going to CIF, boys and girls wrestling as well, individuals going to CIF. Try to get these right, make sure I don't miss anyone. DHS as well, girls flag football, girls volleyball. They are league champs and on their way to CIF or went to CIF. Girls soccer and basketball, boys basketball from DHSHS on their way to CIF as well. Cathedral City High School, boys and girls wrestlers going to CIF. Palm Springs High School as well, boys basketball won the Desert Empire League Championships. I got a chance to be at the game the other night. They did a good job and they displayed sportsmanship. That's very important. Boys and girls wrestling as well. Entire team going to CIF. Girls soccer finished second. Girls water polo finished second, and DEL as well. So job well done to all of our scholars out there, scholar athletes. And as we wind on down, next slide, please. Musical theater, MTU, man, this is like professional, right? When you go to one of the MTU events, you feel like you're at a professional performance down there in Los Angeles. So shout out to David Green and team. Those scholars, their vocals, choreography, and stage presence was unrivaled. And to everyone who had anything to do with that performance, we are very proud of you. Keep up the great work. Next slide, please. Got a chance with our two board members, Charlie Irvin and Mr. Spiricueta, to go and present to our Board of Realtors. And the partnership between the Board of Realtors and the district is this: making or continuing to have Palm Springs Unified and the greater Palm Springs area as a great place to live, work, play, and learn. And so we're doing that work together, and we're going to make sure that we continue to focus on that. Hats off to all the Board of Realtors, Joan Boyko, for keeping that connection where it needs to be here in the district. And last but not least, I wanted to end by pointing out something very important. Last slide. And how we showed up yesterday with excellence. And hats off to our young people who voiced their perspectives and thoughts about what's going on in our local area and across our nation. And they used their voice to protest, leave campus, and go out with signs that they made and let their voice be heard. But what we were proud of is the peaceful demonstration that they held, right? And the way that they carried themselves as young adults, and our staff that showed up to make sure that they were safe. So I wanted to send a special shout out to Alex Borrego and our security team, CSOs. Job well done, excellent work. Our school site administrators and teams, and our middle school teams as well. If I didn't say it, our high school teams. They did a great job being out there, keeping our young people safe. They made it home, right? And our local police and fire departments for supporting those efforts. As we continue down this road of excellence, I want to thank everyone for doing a great job. Let's go.
Let's go back to item 14. And for our student board member comments. Do we have any comments from either of our young ladies tonight?
Well, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you, everyone, for having us. And thank you for letting me, say what I have to say and speak on what's currently going on within our world and how students are able to make the world a better place. I want to say thank you to Sarah for your presentation. It was really good. And then I wanted to say, I want to say thank you to Dr. Killian for your presentation. I think it was cool to see how each demographic in each school varies depending on their services and how each student is able to respond. And I love that you guys are making sure to include everybody and make sure that no kid gets left behind because education is very important. And I wanted to say thank you for your report, Dr. Funches. I thought it was great. And that is it for me.
Okay. Hi. So first off, I'd like to say thank you to the board for honestly protecting us students and showing so much care to us children in the district, in the world, especially with everything going on. Being a student and being around other students who are scared and worried for their future, being here every day to represent them and be their voice and see your guys' opinions and point of views on things really grounds me back to see how powerful our voices can be and how much you motivate us to do better and to strive to motivate other students, and not just students but people as well, to make a difference in the world. So I do want to thank you all for that. And I do want to thank specifically board member Irvin, because I love all your comments in our meetings, all your questions and your comments. They're exactly what I'm thinking in my head, so I want to thank you for that. And then going to a community event that Desert Hot Springs not Desert Hot Springs High School, but Desert Hot Springs had on February 7th. Very close friends of mine went. We have a local mixed martial arts dojo, and they recently had a fundraiser to donate to Tap Out Cancer, which is an organization that helps fund to find cures for cancer and those patients that are in need. And it was just really great to see the community come together. And a lot of our youth who do go to our schools in the district participate and take classes there at the dojo, practicing self-defense, and not just self-defense, but self-discipline as well. And it's great to see that in students. And then once again, going back to my presentation, I invite you all to our Taste of Soul in honor of Black History Month. It's amazing. It's the funnest event. Amazing food, amazing performances, and stories that these kids tell. That is February 27th. And then also inviting you all to our Eagles Got Talent show on March 13th at 6:30 p.m. And Dr. Funches, let me know if you can be a judge. But please, I encourage you all to come to that. I will be the MC for the night of that event, and it's very fun, and these students work super hard to show off their talents to all of you guys. But once again, thank you all for letting me be here, and thank you for your positive comments.
Thank you, Leslie and Sarah. Number 16, approval board action items. 16A is approval of certificated and classified employee transactions, OE 4.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16A?
Move for approval.
Are there any
Second.
questions? All in favor?
Abstain.
Abstain.
16B, approval of revised job description, counselor on special assignment, driving achievement, resilience, and transformation, DART, OE-4.7. Can I get a motion to approve 16B?
Move for approval.
Can Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16C, approval of new board policy BP 5131.8, mobile communication devices, OE-10. Can I get a motion to approve 16C?
I move the motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16D, approval of new middle school course descriptions for 25-26 school year, OE-10. Can I get a motion to approve 16D?
Move for approval. Yeah.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed, aye. 16E, adoption of resolution number 2526-22, approval of Board of Education of the Palm Springs Unified School District authorizing the formation of and selecting the membership of a Real Property Advisory Committee known as the 7-Eleven Committee pursuant to California Education Code Section 17387. OE-12.10. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move for approval.
Move for second.
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 Mr. Simmons, did you want to say anything about the 7-Eleven committee?
Sure. Basically, it's a committee that's composed of no less than 7 members and no more than 11. And there are specific categories that the board has the ability to recommend different people in, but also we would solicit from other areas. But business community members is one, landowners and renters, teachers, administrators, parents and students, and then persons with expertise in environmental impact, legal contracts, building codes, etc. The purpose of this is the California law mandates that before a school district can sell or lease vacant, unused district-owned land, the governing board must appoint a district advisory committee to advise on the disposition of the property. Doesn't mean that we will, but every now and again we have to set up these committees to provide advice to the board on our unused properties.
Thank you.
Just a comment also on that. How will you guys be getting that information out to any of our shareholders, stakeholders, or anyone? How are you getting that out to them?
You were provided a list of your nominations. If you'd like to nominate certain people, we also talk to the principals at our principals meeting and solicit from them, just like we do with the COC committees. We put out parent square messages. We talk to our COC and see if they know anybody. Just word of mouth is a lot of it as well. So there's different avenues in which we would solicit the specific areas we need.
And is there a certain time frame or deadline for that?
We have a committee currently in place, and I'm not quite sure how long we keep the committee in place. Okay, so what she said is they last for about 10 years, and our original committee has expired from that, just for the purposes of the public here. So we need to start a new committee, and you have a list of who was on the committee in the past there. So
This committee has expired, right?
that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
And for how long will be the nomination process for when we have to return?
As long as it takes to get to the 7 and no more than 11. So
Seeing we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. 16F, approval of expulsion case 2025-26-022. Recommendation and findings of facts and conclusion of law, OE-11. Can I get a motion to approve 16F?
I move the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Motion passed. Superintendent's consent items 17A through 17G. Would anyone like to pull an item for discussion or review? Excuse me, can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's consent items 17A through 17G?
I move.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 18, information items 18 through 8A through 18E. As a reminder, the following agenda items are informative only and require no action. 18A, first reading revision to Board Policy BT Administrative Regulation AR and Exhibit E 1312.2, complaints concerning instructional materials OE-10. 18B, revision to Board Policy BT 5144.1 and Administrative Regulations AR 5144.1, suspension and expulsion due process OE-11. 18C, revisions to Administration Regulation AR 5144.2, suspension and expulsion due process students with disabilities OE-11. 18D, revision to Board Policy BT 5119 and Administration Regulation AR 5119, student expelled from other districts OE-11. 18E, first reading revision to Board Policy BP and Administrative Regulation AR 6115, ceremonies and observations OE-10. The board has received and reviewed this information. 19, suggestions for future agendas. Does any member have any suggestions for future agendas?
Karen, did you get H in the last one? I think
It's been pulled.
Oh, okay. All right.
17, H was pulled for a future vote.
Yes.
Okay, on to 19 then. Do any board members have suggestions for future agendas?
No.
No. Okay. Number 20, our regular board meeting will be held on February 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. 21, debrief. Does anyone have anything to debrief or to say at conclusion?
I want to thank the administrator, Superintendent Dr. Francis. Thank you, the police, for supporting our student in the protest. I was very emotional seeing that. Maybe not everyone is agree with that because probably some community members mentioned that people dying have dying in the store, in grocery store, that they say that the student has to be in the school, in the classroom. But coming from that 80% of the Hispanic population, I had personal situation, and I understand why they doing that, and I think it's necessary, and I thanks everyone for supporting and for keep the students safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Swearkata. Number 22, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? I get a second?